Hello and welcome to Kerbal's space program. I hope you enjoyed the little intro based on the trailer from Kerbal Space Program 2, which just came out a few days ago. The trailer, that is, the game will come out next year sometime. So this is the version 1, the current version of KSP. So let's start with a new game. We'll select the science mode, because we don't want the career mode, we don't want to bother about all the financial stuff. So let's just find a name for it. Okay, time to pick a flag. Let's see what's fitting for us. Let's go with the squad flag. Squad is the developer team, which did an amazing job on this game. This is our space center, with all different buildings. We have the vehicle assembly, the launch pad, we have the track station, the development, and so on. So we'll start with looking at the science tree. So this is all the different nodes you can unlock. You can see there's all kind of different nodes. The latest one are the most fun, and this is what we're looking for. So let's start by creating a rocket. There's not much available for now, so let's just use the parts we have. So let's go with a little pod, just some solid fuel. So let's just build something with the parts we have for now. So not much there. Little fins. Let's see in science, what do we have in science? And utility, let's go with parachutes, because we don't want to crash and kill our Kerbins. Because we don't want to kill our Kerbals on the first flight. So let's go with parachutes and add some science, because that's what we're here for. Let's select the crew. Okay, Jebediah, the pilot, sounds good. And let's launch our first rocket ever. So here we are on the launch pad, and we're ready to launch. So press the spacebar to launch your rocket. But first let's do some science. Let's start by collecting some science. And of course, as this is KSP, everything goes wrong on first time. And this is why you should always check your staging. So I just started my engines and deployed the parachutes at the same time. Great. So let's start over. Let's have a look at our staging first. Okay, so we need to have our solid boosters starting first, and then our parachutes on the second stage. So let's get the science again. Crew report, the mystery goo. Then EVA, take some soil samples, another crew report, and let's get back on board and let's fly our little rockets for science. Here we are, it's already over. Now we just wait, collect some science from about 5,000 meters and get all the science we can. Wait a little bit, and then we are deploying our parachute so we don't crash on the way down. And we have landed without crashing. Get more science next to the launch pad. Actually, we're not too far away from where we left, but that's all good. Let's get more science. EVA reports. And once we gather all our science, let's get back on board and recover our vessel. Let's see what we got. And we recovered 28 science. Amazing. So let's go and start to unlock the technology tree. So what can we get? We can get communication, thermometer, decoupler, perfect. And engine, better engine. I want bigger engines. I want bigger engines. Yes, and we want fuel tanks because we need fuel tanks. Let's launch another rocket, and our goal is to get out of Kerbal's atmosphere. So let's go. Here we go. Everything's going fine. Let's have a look how high we get. Okay, 12, 13 kilometers. Everything looks good so far. Jebediah is excited. It's gonna be his first flight outside of the atmosphere. And 70 kilometers is where the limit of Kerbal's atmosphere is in KSP. And we've reached 80 kilometers. We can start to do some science over Kerbal. Mystery goo observation and temperature and crew report. And we can even get Jebediah out for an EVA report. So we are coming hot. We're coming in at 1000 meters per second in the lower atmosphere. Let's use the rest of our fuel to break us down a little bit more, just to be on the safe side. No, we just wait, deploy your parachutes, and then land. And touchdown Kerbin. Oh, we lost the engine, but that's okay, we don't care. This is the Kerbal way of doing things. So let's get more science in the planes. Oh, can't get out. Looks like the hatch is stuck. Let's bounce around a little bit and get out of here for a little crew report and take some surface samples. Get back on board, recover our vessel, and see how much science we gathered. And we got 48 science, which is great. Let's unlock more nodes. So we're gonna get the communication right now, and let's get communication. Oh, heat shield, barometer, more science. This is nice. Another decoupler. Oh, let's go with the science node. Advanced rocketry, this will be nice, but we don't have enough science for now. So let's get a new rocket and let's try to get into orbit around Kerbal. So with all the parts we unlocked, we can try to get into orbit. Off we are. Let's do our gravity turn, slowly and steady. Okay, now it's time to ditch our side tanks. Bam, off they go, no crash, amazing. It's time to go flatter, and it's time to reach escape velocity. So our apoapse is at around 80-90 kilometers, that's more than enough. So let's turn off the engines. Let's wait until we get to the apoapse and put a maneuver node. We can slowly see our periaps rising. Over 70 kilometers, which means we'll be in orbit around Kerbin. time to get into orbit. And we are into orbit. We just have enough fuel left to break us and bring us back down. Very Kerbal way as well to do it. This was a nice estimation. So let's enjoy the views from up here, have a look down, what's happening, do some science. All kind of science we can do that we haven't done yet. Get in EVA, have Jebediah to make a crew report from out there, have a look. And the views look amazing from up here. Okay, now it's time to get back down. So let's see if the little delta V we have left is enough to get us back onto Kerbin. All we need is to get below 70 kilometers so we can use Kerbin's atmosphere to break us and bring us back down. So let's go to the highest point. And there we go. This was the last little bit of fuel left, and it's more than enough. Luckily this time we took a heat shield because we're gonna hit the atmosphere much faster. 2.2 kilometers per second. Let's ditch these fuel tanks. They're gonna burn up on re-entry, and hopefully our little heat shield will help us survive. Look at Jebediah's face, he looks really excited. So let's wait until we see the nice re-entry heat. We're getting hot. And it's getting really hot, so says Jebediah. Ablator shield looking good. Let's deploy our parachutes and slowly drop back down into the sea. So this is going far too slow. Let's cut some parachutes. I think one parachute is enough, especially since we're landing in the sea. Yeah, 7 meters per second, that should be okay. Let's see if we have more science that we haven't done yet. No, there isn't. Let's land and recover our vessel, see how much science we gathered. 71, that's not bad at all. That will help us unlock a lot of more science nodes. That will help us unlock a lot of technology nodes. So electrics, this is very useful, batteries and stuff. What's this? Reaction wheel, that's nice. Plane stuff we don't really need. Nice little engine, I would love this little engine. But I think the electrics is more important since we need solar panels and batteries. Let's build a new rocket just to get some more science, because we need a little bit more to get the batteries and the solar panels. So let's just build something small with some science in it, and we'll just fly over the mountains or something. And there we go, get some more science. Science. And that should be more than enough. Let's land this craft, try to not crash it. And nice touchdown on the side of a mountain somewhere. Okay, 120 science. That's more than what we need to unlock our node. And we got 30 science left. So now let's try to go to the moon. Actually, since we have a probe, we can try to make a communication satellite. Since this is KSP, we're just gonna do a guess and see if we have enough delta V or not. If not, we'll just improvise. Let's start at some science stuff, probe core, and add 2 relay antennas, because that's our goal, is to make a communication satellite. Add a light, because why not? Add batteries, because we need electricity. And add solar panels, so we can recharge those batteries. Loads of panels. Let's add the second probe core, and the reason is I want to be able to control the rest of the ship and crash it on the moon, so we don't have any space debris. Of course, that is if we have enough delta V for this. Let's add some engines. Let's make it a 2-stage. Off we go. Let's turn the SAS, stabilization control. This probe core only has stabilization assists, which is more than enough. So let's cut back and see where we are. Oops, same thing all over again. Let's get to 80 kilometers. Let's circularize our orbit around Kerbal. Of course, I picked the totally wrong engine for this. I don't have a reaction wheel yet. And this engine doesn't have a gimbal. Which means every time I turn the engine on, it just wants to go somewhere else. So this is going to be very painful. As you can see on the nav ball, every time I turn the throttle on, it just changes direction. So after a few tries, I still managed to get it there. And let's create a maneuver node. Oh, that's a nice encounter. That was quick. Okay, so we have enough delta V for this. Let's warp there and execute our maneuver node. So we don't have a reaction wheel, so this is very painful and very slow. Turning our rockets in space. And again, every time we throttle on, the rocket just doesn't want to stay on the maneuver node. Okay, so we're pretty happy with this encounter. And now let's just focus our review on the moon. Okay, let's set our course to retrograde and burn. And we're out of fuel. Okay, so we were lacking just a little bit of delta V to be able to make it. We'll have a very close flyby. Let's deploy our antennas, do some science of our near encounter, our flyby, and send all those data back to Kerbal since we're not gonna get back. Transmit, 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 and we're out of electric charge. Let's wait a little bit until our solar panels recharge the batteries. And let's see, let's try to transmit all the science we can. And this is as close as we will get to the moon. But slowly time to separate from the tank and engine. I guess we won't be able to control it and crash it like planned, but again, that's a Kerbal way of doing things. Everything has to not go according to plan. And at the end of the day, I guess our Kerbins are pretty happy, since we now have a nice communication satellite into high orbit between the moon and Minmus. Minmus being the second moon around Kerbin. So let's get back to the space center and see how much science we gathered. 133 science. So let's unlock one of those nodes. What about the advanced rocketry? We could definitely use this engine. Let's do it. And we don't know. Struts. We love struts, but I think the reaction wheel is good too. And what else do we have? We kind of want the landing things as well. Batteries and solar panels, nice too. Oh, but those big tanks, 90 science. Oh, we're lacking 1.8 science. But I think that'll be enough for today. I hope you enjoyed the commentary video, and if you want more of this, if you enjoyed KSP, please let me know in the comment, and don't forget to like and subscribe. Thank you very much, and see you next time.